Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Jim. Thanks for stopping by. And I love to take photos at the edges of the day. These are all what I call the magic hours collectively. So that's sunrise and sunset, but also golden hour, blue hour, twilight, all those edges of the day kind of times when the light is kind of soft and gentle and kind of lovely, to be honest. That's my favorite times of day to shoot. I adore that, like most photographers, and I love to edit photos from those outings as well. And what I've just done is created a LUT pack that's specifically designed to help you accentuate photos taken in those magic hours. And in fact, I call the LUT pack Magic Hour, and it's now available for sale on my website. I'm going to walk you through that. Now, if you're not familiar with what a LUT is, it stands for lookup table, and it basically is kind of like a preset. It remaps color and tone values from one value to another, thereby impacting the look of your photo. But the cool thing about LUTs is they're applicable and useful in any app that will support LUTs. So that can be Luminar Neo, where I like to use them, On1 Photo Raw, where I also like to use them, but you can use them in Lightroom, Photoshop. There are lots of apps that support LUTs, and that's why I like to call it a portable preset. So instead of being designed to work in just one app, it works in a lot of apps, and that's why I built this LUT pack, simply because I can carry it around with me, so to speak, to different apps when I'm in different apps. Let me show you. Now, if you go to jimnix.com, that's my website, click on shop right here, and that will open up my store. You can see my Magic Hour LUT pack is right here. It is 20 LUTs. Normal price is $20, but my launch price is $15. And in fact, you can see I've got a sale going on many other things in my store as well. This is a Labor Day weekend sale, so if you're interested in any of my other digital products, feel free to take a look, including my Sunset pack is marked down by $5, and my monochrome LUT pack, which many of you may have, in which case thank you very much, that's marked down as well, plus my texture packs. But my LUT pack, the new one, Magic Hour, is right here, and I've got a number of example photos of how I've used these LUTs on different images. But what I really want to do is get into a couple of different apps and show you how they work. So let me do that. I'm in On1, one of the two editors that I use the most, in addition to, of course, Luminar Neo. But there are LUT tools in both of these. You just go into Edit in On1, and in Effects, you can add a filter, and I'll choose LUTs. The nice thing is you can load a LUT pack here within On1, and in fact, I've done just that. So there's Magic Hour LUTs, and it defaults to the first LUT in the pack. And the nice thing about On1 is I can just scroll through and preview these, and you can see the impact that it's having on each image as I hover over the different LUTs. Golden hour looks kind of yummy. This lovely light looks nice. Lovely light 2, very colorful. In fact, you might say, hey Jim, that's way too colorful. And it is for this image, but guess what? You have the opacity slider here. You can pull that down. You've also got masking tools like luminosity mask. You can go in and apply that luminosity mask, maybe adjust the opacity, and still get a nicely colored image that used to look like that, and now it looks like that after applying a luminosity mask and reducing the opacity. So lots of power, lots of control. Let me show you a few more examples of this. Okay, here's Pink Night, there's Stunning Light. I mean, that's just soft and beautiful. I love that. There's a little bit darker version, Subtle Cool Pop and Subtle Warm Pop, a couple of different ideas for you there. Here's Summer Sun, which looks great on this image. I've got a sunrise specific one. I've got a sunset specific one. Sunset number 2, sunset intensity. I've even got some teal and orange, which may not necessarily be something you think about with sunsets, but this teal and orange number 2 looks pretty darn good on sunsets. The teal and orange also looks really good on cityscapes. And this last one, of course, is vibrant. So that's a quick preview. Let me show you another photo in where I'm using these LUTs and give you an example of what you can do. In this case, I'm going to take this cityscape sunset from Rome. I'm going to load the LUT tool and once again choose my Magic Hour LUT category. And I'll just hover over these and you can kind of see what's happening to the image as I go through and hover. Golden hour looks really nice, except it's a little too much. It needs some contrast. Now, keep in mind, these photos are completely unedited, so the only thing that's being done to these photos is the LUT. To be clear, I don't recommend editing of photos with just a LUT. I definitely recommend, like in On1, going into Develop and making your primary adjustments first, and then going into Effects and applying a LUT second. This is just demo purposes, and I just want to show you some of the impact that the colors and the light and how they're being impacted based on these LUTs. So a few more. I mean, you can see that these are just making a nice impact on these images. Once again, let me show you that teal and orange. I think that looks pretty cool, and that vibrant looks nice as well. Now here's one more and on one, and then I'll pop over to Luminar Neo. But if you take a look, that was already an intense sunset. But by dropping some of the magic hour LUTs on here, you can really crank it up and create quite a bit of drama. I mean, look at that. Now, it might be over the top in some cases, which once again leads me back to opacity slider and masking tools, both of which are super useful on these filters here in On One. That's very much over the top. But like that pink night, I think that looks beautiful and kind of subtle. Some of these are a little bit intense. I do like my colors, but again, that's why I recommend making further adjustments and refinements, including, if you need to, adjusting some of the colors or saturation with some of the other tools that are in your editor of choice. I think that looks fantastic. That teal and orange too looks pretty cool, and that vibrant looks nice as well. And again, if you want to adjust it, just pull down the opacity a little bit just to reduce the intensity. And so to show you the before, there it is before, and the after, that's really amped up that sunset with basically one click and a reduction in opacity. So that's what I'm talking about. Lots of power, lots of control, just basically in one click or maybe 2 clicks. And honestly, that's about all that I would do to the photo. Now, again, I don't necessarily recommend doing no other edits, but there are situations like this one where I feel like the contrast is fine, the colors look great. I might make some minor tweaks, but you can have a huge impact in just a couple of seconds. Let's pop over to Luminar Neo now. Now, once again, a completely unedited photo, but I'm going to go into the mood tool, and I've also been able to add custom LUT file in Luminar Neo, and I dropped every one of these LUTs in here. I'm going to show a few of these as examples, and it does default to 30. I'm going to go ahead and move it to 100 in the amount, just so you have an idea of how it's impacting the photos. Unfortunately, there's not a preview, and so my hope is that they'll do that in the future because that would make things really helpful. But again, you've got masking controls that are fantastic here in the masking section on each one of these filters, but also you've got the amount and contrast and saturation. On this one, I actually think I would increase the saturation and the contrast a little bit, and I think I've got a fine looking photo, my friends. There's that lovely light 2 at 100, which I just love. I love the colors that are coming into the clouds and the reflection here. I just think it looks fantastic. I think this stunning light 2 also looks great there. And again, and keep in mind, you can further refine the look by adjusting other tools. If you want to use relight or anything like the color tools, and of course, the main develop tool, you have all that flexibility in Luminar Neo to adjust the impact of the LUT on your photo. Okay, one more cityscape, this one in Luminar Neo as well. And this time I'm going to go with City Night. You can kind of see what that's doing is creating a little bit more of a nighttime look. Again, I'm at 100, so feel free to season to taste. Dark mood, I think that looks fantastic, to be honest. I mean, look at that. That's almost exactly what I would do to the photo. And if you look at the before and after, there's the before completely unedited photo, and the after with just the LUT. I mean, it's impacted the contrast and the light levels. I think the colors look great. So again, lots of power, lots of control, lots of things you could do with these LUTs. That's what I wanted to talk about today, my friends. I will be back next week with lots of cool stuff I'm going to be talking about. I'm really excited about some of the things that are coming. If you want to know what I'm referring to, check out that video. I think that you'll be kind of excited about it. But in the meantime, I wanted to get this video out and talk to you about my LUT pack. Magic Hour on sale, launch price of $15 through the Labor Day weekend. It's basically one-click adjustments. It's a portable preset for you to use in any app that will support a LUT. Note that it is a .cube file, C-U-B-E. But they work great on lots of different kind of photos. Even I've actually been using them on photos that aren't even shot during magic hours. I've done some that are like gray days and things like that, and some of these LUTs are having a really nice impact on those as well. So if you're interested, check it out at the link below. I appreciate your support and your interest. And if you're not interested, hey, that's cool too. I'm still going to be here making lots of free training tutorials every week, but I do like to put my product announcements out here whenever I come out with something new that I think you might find helpful to your creative endeavors. And that's it for this one, my friends. For all my American friends, I hope you have a great, wonderful, fun, relaxing, long holiday weekend for Labor Day. For those of you not in the States, hope you have a great weekend as well. Thanks for watching. Again, these will be on sale through the Labor Day weekend, which is through next Monday, or until I remember to adjust the pricing maybe some days after that. So take advantage of it while you can. Thanks for watching, my friends. You guys take care of yourselves. I'll be back soon with another video. And until then, my friends, adios.